We get creative when we get bored. That's what I've begun to realize about why all these people are talking about routine in life. Because routine gives you the ability to get a little bit more bored. You keep doing the same workouts. Well, maybe not the same workouts, but you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this for X amount of time, and then I'm going to do this for X amount of time, and then you do that for enough months, and it turns out you're going to get fucking bored of it. Why? Because you know the steps, you know all the shit involved, you know how it's probably going to feel. But in the process of getting bored, you, being a creative spirit, being a human being, you will probably figure out new, cooler ways, more efficient ways to do it. And that's why I think routine is so very, very important, at least for me. And so, on this particular occasion, if you watch any of the other Terravify videos, you might know that I generally sit around and record to you in person. But frankly, I've gotten bored of doing that. I still have things that I want to say to you, but I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be able to convey them the best sitting down and forcing myself to say them. So now I'm just going to create shit and talk to you. And hopefully it feels more of like a chat, kind of a friend talking to you. My name's Tarab. I make videos about emotional intelligence every day. I've been painting for about 10 years now, and I still fucking suck at it. Cheers. The life of a creative. You never really know. You make a bunch of shit, and sooner or later you make something you're like, oh my god, I made that. The lucky few are the perfect mix of perfectionist and not really giving a fuck. And they get the products out that look the best to them consistently. So here I am working on this painting of some sort of star in the galaxy. And I thought to myself today, when I woke up, it's a Saturday, thought to myself that when I wake up, I need to make some fucking music. Because the people that send me music are probably looking for the same inspiration that they gave me when they sent me the song. And if I don't reciprocate, then I'm being a shithead. I'm not really, doing the music thing, which is good for my personal health, and emotional intelligence, and well-being, but also not contributing in any way to their development, their happiness, and emotional well-being. So, to harp a little bit more on the subject of getting bored, or at least pursuing routine in life, I don't think a lot of us spend enough time doing that shit. Like I think I just sat over there for about probably 15 to 20 minutes scrolling through some bullshit. I mean, it was honestly very inspirational stuff. I think most of the stuff that I follow is not what most people follow on Instagram and TikTok or whatever. But I mean, at some point you hear the same shit again and again. In fact, you go to Instagram, you'll hear one thing, and then you'll realize that that same person posted that exact same thing on TikTok, and then you watch it again, or maybe one would watch it again, and it's not. It's probably not conducive to learning in any capacity. But I suppose I got bored, and so I left. And I figured, hey, you haven't painted today, so go about it and talk about some shit that might be relevant to someone. So this painting's weird for me because I think it sucks. So I'm trying to make it better by adding layers to it, which I end up doing a lot with music too. And I put this shit on there, and now I'm like, well, how do I stick it on there? And this time around, I might just go with some layers of stuff. Some layers of stuff. I remember when I first got into painting, I was like, my aunt told me, hey, just put the shit on the canvas, man. She didn't use those words because she's a nice lady, but so just put it on the canvas. Just you're not supposed to have all these ideas and stuff. Like just do it, man. And I did it, and I made some. Honestly, some of probably my best pieces of art when I first started, because I never gave a fuck, and I realized how much that plays into obviously how I create now. It's not supposed to be a stressful process. It's supposed to be euphoric. It's supposed to be like, why not mess up? I mean, who gives a fuck anyway, right? Make it enjoyable. I think it takes a very specific personality, obviously, to live that type of life, but alas, I have that damn personality, so I must do it. So there you have it. We're working on this galaxy, this very strange galaxy. And this is an old painting that I made out of my the first roll of canvas I ever brought from an art shop. It's supposed to represent these communities kind of connecting, these circles of human beings, perhaps souls connecting to one another. And this poor guy, he's still an amoeba. he still needs to grow and get some more dots. And at first I didn't like the damn painting, but now that I look at it and I'm thinking to myself, what could I add to it to make it better? I can't really add too much. I think it's gonna suck, regardless. But I would encourage any person to at least give themselves the environment to sometimes get bored. Give themselves the consistency of something to get bored with it. Then we start doing stuff that's like kind of off the cuff, like recording a video while trying to paint. Hopefully make it more interesting for obviously the observers, but also myself. I mean, it's a selfish pursuit, right? It's our life. You should do it in a selfish way, to a degree. There was and this thing stopped working. There was a quote by Khalil Gibran. I've been reading that book. There's other videos, by the way, if you ever want to check out me reading poetry. And he talks about be free, but don't be free for the sake or despite other people. Don't be free to spite other people. Don't be free in the sense of getting in the way of other people's shit. Like don't take off your clothes and put it in the path of people. Like put it to the side, man. Put your shit to the side and go and be free. And I catch myself sometimes not doing that. Like a conversation I had with a good friend of mine last night. He said to me at the end of it, he said, "Wow, I feel like I got my own personal TED talk." And I felt like shit. Genuinely like shit. Afterwards, I was like, well, I should have let him talk. Sometimes you get so passionate in life that it's hard to know when to listen. And it requires a lot of failure to hopefully get a little bit more equilibrated. But I've been thinking about that all fucking day. On and off. Much of an asshole I was. And as a amends to him, I sent him some music. And some good wishes, I suppose. But I always wonder, the path that you choose comes with tremendous sacrifices. It comes with choices you have to make all the time. Like whether or not to add more strokes to this painting, or just to let it go. and let it live as it is. And I think after we start accumulating a certain amount of experience in life, I at least start to assume that my wisdom should apply to everyone's life. And well, that's just some fucking bullshit, isn't it? That is just some bullshit. I'm gonna leave it. This painting is done. I will take it over here and open my new roll of canvas. I'm running out of space on my floor. Hopefully this Bluetooth device is still connected by the time I get to this other room. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. There we go. Hey, look, it's still connected. Got some nice range. Audio's probably not great, but my philosophy is throw shit at the wall until it sticks. Because it's better than doing nothing. You know, it's funny, I talk about boredom, but I can't say that I consistently am bored. I certainly have enough stuff to do. I've certainly gotten to a point where I act very, very quickly, unless I'm inebriated in some capacity on the things that I want to do. But I remember my aunt actually told me that quote. It's funny, I'm realizing I'm taking a lot of lessons away in my personal life from my past. Surprise, surprise. But from people that I generally don't spend a lot of time with anymore. My aunt told me once when we were at a family gathering, she said it's good to be bored sometimes. And here I am telling you the same damn thing, even though over the years I vaguely decided that it's stupid being bored because that means you don't know what the hell you want to do. Funny part is I didn't have a routine enough in those days to know perhaps the depth of that statement. That routine, working out, eating well, making videos, making artwork, whatever it is in life, routine can get boring. We can see it coming from a mile away. We can almost feel ourselves in that situation. In the moment of embarking on that adventure, we can feel what it's going to feel like. Oh, it came with a little piece of wood in between. Oh. Oh. And it turns out there is one side of the canvas that's primed and the other side that's not primed. So today, the painting that we will be seeing, at least start, is going to be on the primed side of the canvas because this side takes a hell lot more paint, the unprimed part of the canvas. I used to go to the woods a lot to walk around to free myself from the monotony of the day. And I actually wanted to go today, but then I ended up going to the dental office for many, many hours, making many phone calls. And I didn't go to the woods today. So I've let myself down in some capacity for sure. And now it's what? Probably like 6 or 7 o'clock and it's pretty chilly outside. The Batman in me tells me, hey, that shouldn't matter. But it kind of does. So I didn't do that. But I've been wanting to for a long, long time. So me being someone that talks about routine and discipline a lot, turns out that my spontaneity has gone down the drain. My sense of adventure, to some degree, is dissipating. to some degree. I'm becoming okay with being bored. Because I realize that when I am bored, I think. Thinking is good. Especially if it's followed by action. Lots and lots of action. You might be wondering, what the hell? If you haven't ever seen me paint before, cheers. On some of my first videos, I used to paint and talk to the camera because it just felt more natural, honestly. Less pressure. But I create a lot, actually. My life goal is to paint and to create music or listen to music or view visual art or listen to auditory artwork for at least 5 minutes every day. And upon showing the list to my mentor's wife, who I actually need to call, reminded myself, she thought it was a good idea. So, might be onto something here. What I want to do is start creating on these larger pieces of canvas more often. Because it's fun! Look at how much canvas. Can you see this? Let's see. Look at how much fucking canvas it is. If you've ever painted before, you know that this is a very large piece of canvas. And it's all mine to paint on. Because I spent the damn money on it. And then people are like, well, why do you want to make money and do all this shit? Because I want to do bigger and cooler things, man. Women, them. What's wrong with that? Live a bigger, cooler life. I'm selfish like that. I want to do that. So, I've got a bunch of metallic paints, of which I've used some here. I should probably move this so I can actually paint around the table. So I got a bunch of metallic paints the other day at the dollar store. Very, very happy about that. And I love how water interacts with paint. That is one of my favorite things. Still recording? Yeah, you've still got audio. But I'm a builder, you know. At heart, I really am a builder. My dad was a civil engineer, and he had this miraculous ability to see problems in the world, and despite not being familiar with the field, coming up with solutions. A systems guy. I try the chance to talk to him these days, but I think I have a little bit of that in me, and that's probably why I really like abstract artwork, because I can literally just put random shit on canvas and then riff off of it. The next time I come in, I just have to build on what I did before. And it's really liberating to not give a single fuck. It helps in every single way. And I hope this at least inspires you, if you're someone that's a perfectionist, to just let go and do the thing. You know, just do the thing. I also really like curves, flow in paintings. I was told by one of my aunts, who's a painter, that the flow of my paintings is really good, but that I miss subjects sometimes. Actually, most of the time, I fail to create a subject. So this is something I think about every now and then, but really I don't give a fuck. Because I do it because I love it. And who says you need a subject to feel something, huh? But yeah, I've basically put a stroke on canvas or drawn something or looked at visual art every single day for the last 10-ish months, about a year now. And I'm not getting any better. But on my back, on my fucking back. But it feels good. It feels good to have consistency. It feels good to know that I'm building on something. I'm really moving forward here in life. And we cannot find the thing. Cannot find the thing. Horsehair brush. Comment down below if you have a creative hobby. What is it? What do you like? Do you like to write poems? Are you a photographer? Are you a comedian? Public speaker? What is it? Tell me if you don't have one. I'm curious. Tell me if you wish you had one. You probably saw this actually on Instagram. I assume that a lot of you actually have very similar Instagram feeds to me, which is maybe a stupid assumption, but there was a guy talking about trees. Trees. Love trees. And he said that trees look the same when they grow up as they do when they grow into the ground, / as they grow into the ground. He said that in order for a tree to grow up, it must grow down. And that is an essential aspect of nature. That a lot of our effort is in the dark before something comes of it. It's a beautiful philosophy, really. I mean, it's a continuation of a philosophy to some degree, for me at least. For other people, I'm sure that it being the first time that they watched it, it could have woken them up in some capacity about how interconnected the patterns of life are. I gotta move my magic table to accommodate for this painting recording setup. When it comes to this artwork, and when it comes to all the stuff that I do in my life, and the Terabify channel, and fucking dentistry, and whatever else, buying real estate, whatever it is, I realize, like, dude, there's just gonna be a lot of time where you're just doing the shit. Just doing it. Just for the sake of fucking doing it. I don't have enough water on it, it doesn't splatter yet. But I'll get there. You mark my words. In order to have the strength to grow against gravity, you must have a firm root system, my friend. A firm routine. Something that inspires you consistently, moves you forward, and gets you bored sometimes. so that you have a reason to be creative. I mean, isn't that what creativity is? Essentially, human beings, right? We figured some shit out, and then we like started sitting around more, and we're like, well, I'm bored. Let's do some shit, right? Creativity is like this. Why is it so essential to humanity? Because we figured things out that other creatures on the planet probably never will. And so it's almost our responsibility to be bored and to make something of it. This poor microphone. I hope this doesn't mess with your ears too much. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere, right? We got ourselves a vibe, man. Got ourselves a vibe. So I was doing a bunch of phone interviews today for positions at the dental practice because I don't want to do the billing anymore. And because people that I respect told me that really rich people are incompetent. You might be thinking, what the hell does that mean? I hope you're thinking what the hell that means, because I'm about to tell you. Rich people are incompetent because they realize that if they try to learn the whole damn thing, they try to learn how to do everything, then they're going to do everything instead of finding the people that can do it better than them, or perhaps marginally worse than them, but then they can't do what they actually want to do. It's like if you're going to make a A-class team in a video game or in a novel or some sort of fantasy something, you got to realize, like, some guy's good at knowing what plants do, right? Some guy's really good at fighting. Some dudes, some ladies, really sexy, and she can put people at ease and distract them, you know, some D&D shit. But you can't be everything, and you shouldn't want to be everything. You just want to be the things that you want to be. And that's what I realized about that conversation with my friend last night. Is my friend's not a business person. He's a fucking artist. And I tell him about these business things, like, oh, you know, in order to get people to buy your paintings and give a shit about anything, you have to go and do XYZ thing, you have to send all these emails, you gotta do all this, whatever. And he doesn't give a single fuck. Maybe he does, I don't know. Maybe after all this time he will. But, I think it's very important to realize that people have roles and to utilize those strengths. To utilize the benefits of specialization, comparative advantage, basics of economics. Alright, now we're gonna do some splatter ass. Some splatter eyes. Alright. And look, I got enough space to where I'm not splattered. Random shit. I've gotten better at not getting paint on my clothes too. One of the perks for painting for 8 years. Like, you can generally know where things are gonna go. Unless you get like really into it, then that becomes a problem. And you're like, oh shit! I wiped my brand new pants with white paint, and they're fucking black. So now they're not pants I can wear out anymore. But look, I get to play on this fucking canvas, dude. It's incredible. Incredible. Cool. So we got ourselves some blue. Okay. So now I'm bored. Now I'm like, fuck. Well, what's next? Maybe I'll hit it with some black. We'll give it a little bit of depth. Still recording. Still got the thing. Let me see if we're still recording. We're on a battery yet? No, we're good. Oh, you don't even have a good view here. Here, my friend, let me help you. How's that? Better? There you go. There you go. Okay. So we got some black that we mixed with water because you realize when you buy shitty paint, probably any paint, that it'll sit in the damn. That's what I love about painting, abstract in particular. Add a layer and it just fucking changes everything. Alright. And what does it matter? I once painted with one of my buddy's uncles who was a car mechanic, is a car mechanic. Maybe you're watching this. What's up, Yod? And we were in his shop and it was fucking pouring rain outside. And we were like throwing like car paint at like a piece of wood. Very memorable. But he said to me, he's like, dude, just fuck it up. Because we would take turns. I would put down a layer and then he would put down a layer. And obviously us both being abstract painters, we would absolutely fuck up the intentionality of the other one. And so it was very liberating and also frustrating at the same time. Because then you'd be like, well, dude, just put less shit on it. You know? And I never said that to him. But that's how I felt. And we made some really cool stuff, honestly. It's sitting in his shop. I was like, oh, you should you should buy a place and put the artwork and shit there. Mind you, he's like, blue collar guy that works at a car shop, and he's like the owner and the biller and the classic mistakes of small business owners. Doing everything. Don't do everything, please. Please don't do everything. Get someone to help you do at least a part of it, and then find other people that can do other parts of it instead of doing the shit yourself. Because your vision will get stifled in the monotony of doing something that you're not all that interested in. I speak from personal experience. Look how cool that looks. It's big. So just fuck it up. Doesn't matter. No one cares anyway. Like whoever's watching this video, you probably only marginally care. Hopefully this is, I don't know, maybe it's like 12:30 at night and you're watching this video and being like, what in the fuck is this person doing? I'm making artwork while talking about philosophy. My two favorite things. And I think it turned out pretty cool. What do you think? Leave a comment if you think it turned out cool. I'll try not to care too much. I don't want it to impact my freedom. Love water. So cool. Creates little fractals on the canvas. You want to see? Let me show you. Let me show you the fractals on the canvas. Let's see here. You see the fractals? See that? How it kind of stems out. Fractals. If you don't know what a fractal is, go look it up. It's in nature, it's everywhere. Beautiful. Anyway, actualize your potential, catalyst. This world needs you, and whatever it is that you're doing. And if you have a moment, check out this video. It will be something similar to this, I'm sure. Take care of yourself.